What's up, Owls? In this week, Health and Wellness Corner, we are highlighting domestic violence awareness. You may have heard the word domestic violence, but do you really know what it entails? Do you really know what the resources available on FAU's campus? Well, stay tuned as we'll be interviewing an expert, which is our victim advocate on the FAU campus, and she will share the different initiatives, educate us on that topic, as well as share different resources available to all of us. Can you describe what domestic violence is and the importance of raising awareness about it on a college campus?
Well, that's a great question because domestic violence, I think one of the biggest ways to determine domestic violence is power and control. So if someone is able to have power and control over you, and there's many ways that they can do that, that's how you'll start to notice that you're in a domestic violence situation. And the power and control can come from verbal abuse, physical abuse. It could be academic abuse, technology abuse, right? You can't use your computer at certain times, or I won't allow you to come to campus to take your exam because then you can't get a degree, and then guess what? You can't succeed because I'm having this power and control over you. Piece. Now, one thing I will say about domestic violence and why it's so important to discuss this is because abuse takes many forms. And what we do know is I don't like how you're treating me and you're not making me feel good. And now I'm starting to question my self-worth, my value, who I am, what I can contribute. Is this relationship even worth my time? And when you start questioning those things, that's when we start to see that there's concerns happening in the relationship.
What are some of the resources available to support Florida Atlantic students, faculty, and staff in that area?
So for our students, there's a couple things. Our counseling center, counseling and psychological services, and student health services is two of our confidential resources here on campus available for students. But one of the things I always like to highlight, besides the confidential component, is that their phone number is 24/7. And I think if someone, is going through a situation where it could involve violence, right, sexual or physical, and they're looking for medical care but not sure what that means for them, or you could be under your parents' insurance, or you're not sure if you want your parents to know that you're looking for coverage or help, go to student health services. Even if you call the number, a nurse over the phone will talk with you about your options. So before you go to the doctor, at least you know what your options look like. I think if you're looking to report, we have a wonderful police department, but that's if the domestic violence happening here on campus. If it's happening off campus, you would have to work with your local law enforcement agency, which then usually I tell people, come to talk to Victim Services. And so I represent Victim Services here on this campus, and it's an honor to work for a wonderful department as such. And we help with all types of cases. When we talk about domestic violence specifically, one of the things that I will say is Victim Services, we have a 24-hour number, 561-297-0500. Just ask for an advocate. Once you ask for us, you'll automatically get to us, and we'll talk to you about your options. So we'll talk about how do you safety plan, what are some programs or things or bags that you should have put aside that could help you so the second you want to leave, your family knows, certain people know that they can help you. Do you have cash put aside, right? Even if you don't have those items, what can we prepare you to have aside so the day you leave, because leaving is the most dangerous situation, and we have to time it out and plan it accordingly because we don't want to increase your danger. We want to make sure you leave safely. And so one of the things that Victim Services do, especially here on this campus, is we will safety plan. So calling us, emailing us, and letting us walk through your options so that way you can begin to game plan what do you need to do.
How can one support a friend or a loved one experiencing domestic violence?
That's a really great question. So, domestic violence here on this campus, our hashtag is I'll be there for you FAU. Hence why I'm wearing the sticker today. And the focus is I'll be there for you. And one of the things that we focus on is that people may not be ready or may not know that they're in that situation, but us as friends, us as people who care for one another, we know when our friend or someone could be in a difficult situation, and we want to be there for them. And so we focus a lot of efforts of how do we support one another, because here at FAU, what we learned through our surveys and our data is that many of our students, we want to support each other. We just want to do it safely and want to know how to do that. So patience, listening, and then knowing the resources. If you're not connected, because here's the thing, you're not the expert. And so if you're not the expert, making sure you get them to the expert to provide them the options. You can take them there, or as a friend, come see Victim Services. We'll talk with you so you can coach your friend and have that conversation. A lot of times I've had people come to me and their friend could have said something out of love, right? But because it wasn't in the place that they could hear it, they shut down and they didn't feel like they could go back to their friend. But friends want to be there for their friends. And so when we talk about supporting one another, come talk to an expert. Let us know what's going on. We can provide coaching skills. We can talk with you about resources and services to provide before you go to that friend and have that conversation.
Thank you, Candace, for enlightening us on the significance of this crucial topic. We know that October is known as Domestic Violence Awareness Month, but the awareness does not stop in October. We encourage you all to continue having this conversation and supporting our entire FAU community as they do their part to raise awareness on domestic violence. And remember, I'll be there for you.